All right, welcome in, Mika. Appreciate you having you
Uh,
here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And yeah, welcome to everyone who's here to watch this. So today we're going to talk about, Mika and her story. So Mika just finished my 13-week coaching program. Although it's been about 4 or 5 months now, we've yeah, just life happens. So anyway, Mika, we're just here to learn more about you, your story, and just the work that we've done together. So my first question to you is, as you think back 4 or 5 months ago when we first met, what's just been like the biggest breakthrough for you, period, from this work?
Um, I just really appreciate how this was not a traditional talk therapy, but rather energetic therapy. And I think one of my biggest breakthroughs with you, Madison, was how you were able to show and teach us that any emotion that comes up is there for us. It's getting our attention towards something much deeper. And I really appreciated how you taught us to lean towards the emotion we're feeling, sit with it, breathe, and then allow it to go. But the connection between emotions and the physical pain was what was really like an absolute breakthrough for me, because just realizing that we are an emotional rock oftentimes, and even learning that like from a feminine versus masculine perspective was really incredible to learn that if we have any physical pain in our body, it is probably related to an emotion that we are suppressing rather than releasing, expressing. So learning to do that, that it is okay, that even anger is okay to be expressed in a safe environment, that is, it's much better for us in from the health perspective and our physicality than keeping it in. And so scanning your body throughout the day is what I got from you. That was absolutely wonderful piece of information. And then kind of feeling like, okay, well, I've got some tension in my shoulders. Oh, cool. That's anxiety and stress. All right, let's think about what maybe be causing this anxiety and stress, like the whole, week, for example. And then sitting with it and just processing that as you breathe and connect with yourself. And then suddenly realizing that it's dissipating was an absolute gold for me from you.
That's beautiful. Yeah, like a lot of the work we do, right? It's the body. Like the body's the map to subconscious mind, the emotions, and learning to get in touch with that rather than ignore it, suppress it, medicate it, is the kind of work we do. If you're just describing the day to day, just how you feel, just what was kind of like how you experience life now. Well, I'll talk about some of the big, life changes that you have, going on with your work and as a mother and so forth. But what's just kind of the big difference in your day to day and how do you experience it before doing this work and now after even having the tools and so forth? How's it different for you?
It's still an ongoing process. It's not like, oh well, maybe I've worked on healing one wound. No, it's always a process, but I do it daily now, and I'm more intentional about it, and I don't freak out. I'm not reacting, I'm responding, and I am tuning into my body. Whereas before, I would react right away, snap, get mad. There's always like, I'm just blaming, I'm so disconnected and surviving. I'm just blaming circumstances and never taking the responsibility. What I've learned from you, and that has been very life changing over the last 4 months, was that you really do have to take responsibility for you. Like, where are you in this situation? What are you mirroring? What are you projecting? What is your energy? What are you attracting? And shifting that perspective was liberating for me. And you have definitely allowed for that expansion to happen. And like checking in with you once a week would be like, oh man, I don't want to do it. I don't have time. But then I would do it and I would feel so amazing afterwards. So connected, calm, loving, peaceful. Like just, I mean, I've cried. I've I feel like I've healed so much. And even at times when, it was bad, I would have sunglasses on and I would cry and cry to you. And I would hope that you would, yeah, let's just talk about it. And then you always hold space, but then you say, hey, let's connect with the energies. Let's channel what are your guides telling you or what you are needing. And then shifting that idea of like, learning that when we say our needs aren't being met, that's not saying that the spouse or parent or coworker isn't meeting our needs. It's us within us. We are not meeting our needs. We have to give ourselves love. And that really, honestly, speaking of need and want, we don't need any of it because we already are. That was monumental, like realizing that if you're always in the search of something outside of you, then you're coming from lack. And that lack mentality, a lot of us in spiritual communities are aware of that concept, but a lot are not. And learning from you so much about it, it's eye-opening. It's awesome. So my life is very, very different now than what it was like when we first started. Sorry, it's a long
Oh, it's beautiful.
answer,
Thank you.
but it definitely has changed. I
Appreciate it.
really think so.
I want to ask you because you're particularly unique in the fact that you're not new to spirituality, the healing world at all. In fact, and I'll ask you a little bit later to share a bit what you actually do within that world. But you talk a little bit about how you see this work maybe different than some of the other things that you've been involved with, whether it's talk therapy or other modalities or even plant medicines or mushrooms and things like that. Because you definitely know your way around this kind of world, so to say. So could you speak a little bit on that? What's maybe different about this kind of work that maybe you not come across or it not worked for you before or something like yeah.
I think that, being a human being, we get to really what the best part about it is, and the hardest part about it is being human, right? So allowing all these different modalities of therapy, I think it's there for us and all of them, whether it's within like psychology and talk therapy or plant medicine or just connecting with yourself and simply not forgetting that we have this beautiful, powerful thing called breath. I think they're all there for us, and they're all powerful. It's just how we utilize them and what we're getting out of it. For example, the talk therapy for me, um, it worked until I realized that I would be in scenarios where other people had problems like mine. So you're thinking you're relating, but that's not really relating. What you're doing is you're taking on all these individuals' problems and you're going home, for example, from like a group therapy, and now you're like feeling sad and negative about so and so's experience and another person's, setback and betrayals and traumas. And instead of healing, you are now manifesting more of that same energy, like attracts like, as we know from physics. And so that did not work for me. I would just be like more angry, all this evil around us. Like, how do we transmute that? And I also think that when we vent and talk, and it's so negative, it's so powerful, sure, we get it out. I suppose that's a way, but then it leaves us with no desire, no magnetic desire or like inspired action. Like we just don't feel like doing anything about it. I think that things happen in our lives like a fire forging growth. Things happen in our life because again, it's pointing attention to something and something wonderful. It's a catalyst for growth. Like an obstacle, I will never look at an obstacle the same way again after therapy with you, because now I know that it's like, hey, I'm here, I'm just saying hi, look, pay attention, slow down, reconnect. This is going to forge something beautiful. So with that, with talk therapy, you end up powerless and you're drained. You have no energy for action. If you, instead of like vent, like, okay, this happened, I'm sitting with it, I'm releasing, now you're feeling like empowered to do something about it. In my case, if I do that instead of talk therapy, I feel all right, I gotta, I'm gonna do things that inspire me. I'm going to get back to the gym. I'm going to read more. I'm going to go back to school. I'm going to finish my book. I'm going to, work on my businesses. It just fires you up and like just fuels. You can use these things to create, and these obstacles or these, life forces happening daily. So that's way better, I think, than talk therapy. Plant medicine is absolutely wonderful. I used to think that not everyone needs to do plant medicine until my very recent psilocybin journey experience. I came back and I was just so grateful and thankful that I had that experience. And it was so powerful. I just kept saying, oh my God, like, why wouldn't you want to? You don't have to, but why wouldn't you want to do it? And then I thought, no, absolutely everybody needs to do this. And then just recently, I have done one of our sessions was wonderful. The past traumas, the transgressions, and that was so beautiful. The energy moving through me and opening of the meridians and chakras within me, allowing the flow of stagnation was so beautiful. What a release. Like you are an incredible, incredible teacher, a guru. Like I call you my spiritual teacher, and I am very proud of that experience. Truthfully, was like a psychedelic experience. So no, we don't all have to do plant medicine, but if you have a chance, you should. But I think everyone should find someone like Madison in their lives. I think having a spiritual guide, teacher, channeler is wonderful. You're like a best friend and well, therapist, of course, but just you hold space. It's like a prayer. I heard a prayer is you just knowing that there's someone out there who holds safe space for you to be unfiltered and all. And I think that's you. I really, truly think. So, altogether, I would say all those ways are wonderful. Use whatever you intuitively feel like using. You will know that if you connect with yourself, which one works best for you. But if you're feeling entirely disconnected, I would start with a spiritual teacher.
Thank you, Mika. I appreciate that. And yeah, I agree with your answer. And they're all beautiful tools. I want to ask you because, obviously the work that we're doing is that inner work, but it has outside consequences. The outside world reflects the inner. Do you talk a little bit about, because you wear a number of different hats, so to say, and whether it's as a mother, a wife, as a business owner, and now a new profession, which I'll be talk about. But could you talk a little bit how it's affected just your life, the outside world, so to say, from these inner changes, so to say? Yeah.
Yeah, I just I think that again, it's all about connecting with you. You don't have to try too hard just because you've learned spirituality and now you have this fancy vocabulary, or you have a spiritual guru Madison or someone else, or you partake in psychedelic retreats or something. Doesn't mean that you have to like, oh, I have to show up certain way now, I cannot get angry, or I'm just gonna, I just have to like rise above, like, and I have to have this certain way of being and showing up to fill those many hats, as you said, on daily basis. I don't put that much pressure on it. I just think I just show up, connect it. And when I do that, I allow the experiences are here for me to have, and I just allow that to come, and then I try my best to intentionally respond, not react. I want to slow down, take a pause before I respond, and feel feel good, have like these positive emotions rather than the negative emotions. You recommended the book Letting Go, and that was amazing. Not only did I get the copy, but I've listened to the Audible several times, and just that talk about energies and the hierarchy of, the crown chakra being the peace energy and represented as the number 700, to the very low, the apathy emotion. But we are human. It is for us that we have to experience, we should be experiencing all of this. Without the darkness, there is no light. And so whether, being a chef or working on my interior design or photography or going out to dance as one of my hobbies or being a mom and having to discipline Nash or sometimes get mad at the teenager, in trashy room. All of it is great. You're here to do this. There's no pressure. I think that integrity is important, choosing to be a good person and finding time in your day to connect. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, find a way to connect and in silence. It does not have to be music. It doesn't have to be a guided meditation. You don't have to be in a lotus position, nothing like that. You just need to be with you. Most of us, Madison, you taught us this. You said that we are afraid of being with ourselves. We have this fear. We don't want the quiet, the silence, the solitude. But when we can, sit on the porch in a swing chair with iced tea, I just imagine myself as a grandma one day doing this, is a beautiful thing. You don't, those grandmas that I like, I see my grandma used to do this. They didn't know much about meditation. They didn't know much about spirituality. They didn't have to know it to be it,
Hmm.
so same thing every day, whatever's happening, it's there. It's okay. It's supposed to be. It's
Beautiful.
just
Well
the way
said.
it's just the how we connect with it, how we respond, right?
Yes. I want to ask you because a lot of people might be kind of looking on the outside into this work and they're like, well, what do we do? Or what actually happens?
Right,
So
right.
you just share about a little from your experience, how you even describe it to someone like, what are we actually doing on the inside of, with these calls and the work and yeah, just the way that you experience it, how you describe it.
Yeah, I think it's some people could be shocked and maybe even like, oh my gosh, I just, spent this money on this. This is bullshit. Well, the thing is though that sometimes we just need guidance because we already know that we are the medicine, that it's within us, we have the answers, but somehow all of us are messed up, walking around unhappy and paying for talk therapy or getting into addictions and things of that sort, which ultimately that's just us telling ourselves, oh, well, I don't feel loved or I'm unworthy or I'm missing something. So I'm going to compensate. I'm going to give it back to myself because I care about myself. So I'm going to go shopping or drinking or I'm going to do drugs or I'm going to go to therapy. And I mean, it's an all external stuff that will never fill the void within. The only way to do that, this is what this work is about, is to go within. But if we don't know how to do that, we can have someone like you help us, guide us. And sometimes it's like, like people, like I would get shy when you would say, hey, let's scan the body. What are you feeling? What, you're talking, this happened, whatever, where in your body are you feeling it? Do you think it's an emotion of where you feeling anxious, stressed out, whatever, unloved, unworthy? And giving it back to yourself. You have so many different beautiful techniques, the pendulum technique, the technique, the swiping method, the technique of breathing, holding heart, and releasing, connecting with the inner child, telling them that's so beautiful. I love that. Like we all have that inner child in us. It's like me taking care of my child. Like I would want the best for them. And, I see them fully. Why can't we do that for our own inner child? And this is just, it maybe to some it could be woo woo or pseudoscience, but it's already been proven there's no such thing as pseudoscience. And it's as, not only psychoanalytical and neuroscience, but it is mysticism, holistic medicine, connecting with you. It's the most powerful thing ever. You're one of many, Joe Dispenza, Esther Hicks. There are so many out there who teach this. People heal themselves from cancer. I truly believe, like, I dedicate myself to practicing with you because you don't know, you could be festering some sort of a disease that's going to take you out. And you're going to be like, I was worried about bills and somebody cutting me off in traffic where I have stage 4, and let's not put it out to the universe, but that really is how, you can heal these things body in disease is body in this ease, and our personal reality creates our personality and therefore our inner work. And that is what this is about. Your work is literally discovering all of these beautiful things, gifts, traits, talents that we all possess within, and then owning it and using it as your medicine to do everything there is. And once you do that, then you're like, wow, all of a sudden I'm so creative. I feel this urge to help people. We're here to transmute it so then we can collectively shift too. If I'm healing, you're healing, then all of us, it's like part of me is like thinking, let's just hurry up so we can all be higher, right? Because it's really it's simple. It's a game we play, and it's up to us if we want to enjoy it or struggle here, and then get to the end and be like, all right, so that's what life was about, right? So I really appreciate that you're you have taught all of this, showed all these beautiful techniques. I spoke to my husband, and every now and then we would compare if the lessons were the same, and you tailor it specifically to the person. You've channeled my energy many times, and you were on point each time. So it's like, wow, what's happening? Like, this dude is for real. Like, he is the deal. Zach was like, oh my gosh, he's like a Jesus consciousness. Totally. Like, and you're so humble and beautiful, and you've never gotten mad if I rescheduled. And like I said, it's difficult to commit, but then it's like, dude, it's the biggest gift one can give themselves.
Thank you, Mika. I appreciate it. And I just want to have you just take a little bit, a few minutes, and we'll wrap it up because I know you're busy. But just to share about actually your own work, like what you and Zach do, because it's so obviously pertinent to what we're talking about. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what you guys are building and creating? Because I think it's just very important. And I know you've got you're a humble person, but you got some things that happening with the Rolling Stones and all sorts of incredible things going your way. So do you take just a few minutes just to share about that?
Yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I love the opportunity to share with everyone. We are in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and outside area, Peyton and Falcon. And we are working on building a beautiful sanctuary and a holistic wellness retreat for those who would like to know a little bit more about themselves and how to do this work, and who would possibly like to partake in psilocybin journeys or DMT journeys to use it as a pathway or gateway to that inner self, to unlock the potentials, to see that we are part of one, that we are in this vast universe as a collective network of just a bunch of us, that all everything that's within you, it's within everyone else, and we're building a community where people can express that and find like-minded individuals who are on the same journey, and to really awakening, enlightening, to freedom, to liberation, to the connection with soul. So Zach and I have created a church that allows for that type of work, and we are hosting retreats on our property here in Colorado, and that's legally providing the psychedelics to help people heal from trauma and to connect with themselves. And yeah, we're very excited. We've had the Rolling Stone magazine a writer come out and interview and partake, and she had a wonderful time. And I hosted her and cooked for her. This is one of my things, is to nourish all the beautiful souls with my creative in culinary, and I really enjoy that. And we just want to give, because I think that one of our biggest purposes here on earth in this dimension is to be of service to others, and healing should never be at a cost, and it should be available to everyone. So we want to partner with people who think that way, and where it's affordable to everyone, and just an experience that changes your life. So we're very excited and hoping to host those several times a month. We're working on a new revamped website and working with some incredible individuals who are going to not only facilitate, but who really believe in the same uh, concept as we do. So really awesome things planned in the future.
Well, thank you for your work, Mika. And the reason I want to bring it up, right, is Mika and Zach, they're leaders in the consciousness space and they're healers themselves, but they're also humble enough, the two of them, that yeah, like even healers need healers and leaders need
Of
people too.
course.
So I just appreciate your humility, you guys, and just your openness to yeah, just continue to grow and learn the things all around. I know you're busy, so we'll wrap it up here. But I just have one last question for you, which is all those that are probably watching this, right? They're probably looking outside, seeing if they should invest in something like this, if this is even going to help them, depending where they are on their journey. Is there any just advice you could just give them, yeah, about that?
Yeah, I think that if they are watching this, they are already searching. There's something, and people might find themselves at the midst of. I'm at the end of the road. Like I have tried everything, and I'm feeling there is more to me than this bodysuit, that meat suit. I know that, I've got a soul or spirit. Like I feel there's something bigger than me within the cosmos or universe. And I'm curious and I don't know where to start. I'm not sure like how to learn all this stuff. Like I'm, intimidated to tap into it. Like, where do I go? I think having a spiritual teacher, saying I have a spiritual teacher, I can text this person, I can write to this person, I can call this person. They care about me. And you personally, you've made payment plan arrangements. You are just all about helping and really wanting for the individual to see that they have all the tools within them. uh, and discovering that through sessions with you is like a no-brainer. And I think that honestly, I would not hesitate. I would sign up. I think that it, what else can you do? I mean, you can read up on this stuff, but how will you be able to connect with yourself? You give the tools, the techniques, the ideas, you, like I said, you hold beautiful space for it. And you will accommodate, you'll make arrangements, you are very flexible. Like I mean, I've never met anyone like that before. I can feel so authentic around you, and it's a lot different than a talk therapy, like I said, out there, or anything online. Really, you're a real deal. I would highly recommend you to anyone seeking help. But it's not just to, oh, let me solve these problems, or, he heals trauma, or, whatever. No, this is giving you tools. This is something that will be an investment because you will do this work every day. This doesn't stop. One wound heals, another one opens. We do this every day. We do this work every day. You are also a person who is still healing too, and that makes it very authentic, and you're not judgmental, and you completely understand. I love that you would relate you to me and even shared some stuff about your dad or whatever. And I mean, and you're a very like powerful, entrepreneurial and successful, like you're a beautiful teacher to have. I feel so spoiled that I was able to partake, in these sessions with you. And I mean, it would be like the best spa. It's like you can't, no money can buy this. Like, oh, well, I'll go get a massage. That's what I do. Or I'll go get cocktails, or, it's beyond that. It's such a deep connection, restoration, like rejuvenation. You feel like you just went and really received a spa treatment, but in a different form, like from the inside out. So, I mean, really, I would not think twice, but give this guy a chance.
Like, I really appreciate you and just for sharing you and your story and your truth today. And It's been incredible. I know you're busy. One last thing I'm excited to share for you is, is you're starting your career as a dental professional. And I know that's something that you wanted to unlock in the beginning. And there were different set of doubts and beliefs, so to say, but just to be able to, yeah, see you actually in the your physical world, things manifesting for you, and you've taken action, and they've already happened. I thought it was
That's right.
going into it, but you said you've already finished the first week, so I'm just happy to
That's
see
right.
as all your success and more going forward. So
Thank you.
thank you for coming on, Mika. Appreciate
Thank
your time,
you.
and
Thank you so
obviously
much.
at the end of our journey, and we're going to continue it in many different ways. So thank you.
Thank you so much, my friend. We love you very much. We wish you the best from the bottom of our hearts. And I hope we stay in touch. And this is a beautiful, beautiful friendship and relationship for hopefully a lifetime. And I wish you much success, love, peace, and wealth and health.
Thank you. Take
Blessings,
care.
Madison.